Do you find it difficult to come up with content ideas for your podcast? Or perhaps you've gotten stuck during an interview with a guest where you just have nothing to ask anymore? Try Poddex today. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards and pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment, all with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C. Welcome to day 17 of the Content Creators of Color. My name is Kat Corchado, and I am the host of the Sisters in Service podcast. My guest today is Shawn Smith, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him because he is the CEO of the Dripping in Black Productions. He's also the executive producer of Dripping in Black podcast, audio and video, and also of the Raw Conversations podcast. And I've got more to ask about that. However, hi, Shawn.
Hey, how you doing, Kat? How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate your time.
Oh, no problem. Always one of my favorites.
Oh, you say that to all
Uh,
the people.
no, I don't. Hey, you know me well enough to know that I'm not gonna say nothing that I don't believe in. so, so if I'm saying you one of my favorite, you one of my favorites.
Well, thank you for saying so. I appreciate that. So, Shawn, tell us a little bit about how Dripping in Black Productions came about.
Dripping in Black Productions came about. I have to go backwards. Dripping in Black was is an attitude, and I'm going to explain that. Is one day I was coming home, and there's actually our trailer talks about this. I was coming home one day, and I was distraught. I'm a professor by trade and educator, and I was coming home, and I was upset. We were talking about some equity stuff, and I was saying, man, I'm just tired of dealing with these people. I just want something just blackety black. I want it dripping in black.
I love
And then
that.
it hit me. It hit me. I said, dripping in black. In fact, it hit me so hard that I was driving home. I pulled over to a rest area and wrote it down and said dripping in black. And it also gave me another one, Math Noir, which is something I did for students of color up there as well. But dripping in black was just an attitude. It was an
Yes.
attitude. I said everything I'm doing is dripping in black now because I want black excellence. Everything I touch. So it was an attitude. I went home and bought the domain name. That was my action was buy the domain name. So a little bit later on, a friend of mine was talking about. He said, "Man, I'm interested in starting a podcast." Now, mind you, I already told them about podcasting a while ago because I was really into it at that time. I said, I was talking to another friend and said, you should think about starting one. So my other friend came along and said, "You think about podcast?" He said, "But I don't know what to talk about." And I said, "Well," I gave him the story about dripping in black, and he said, That's it. That's it." And so we came up with Dripping in Black podcast. The production came after we said, okay, now that we learned how to do all this stuff, because remember, this is during the pandemic. I bought all this green screen. I know the people can't see this, but I got a green screen because I didn't know how we were going to teach. So I bought all this stuff, because I had to I might have to teach from home. So we actually used it for the podcast. Now I'm not on there. I do all the behind the scenes stuff, but I had to learn how to do that. So the pandemic gave me time to learn how to video edit and things like that. So that's really where Dripping in Black came from, was just an attitude, because I didn't even have a product for it until we said we do the podcast, and then we went into the productions and consulting on production stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's coming, but the podcast actually started first.
It makes sense when you say that it was an attitude, because now I'm like, yeah, okay. Driven in black. That makes sense to me that
Oh
it's an
yeah, that's where it
attitude.
came from.
What an epiphany, though. What an
That was
epiphany.
one of those moments that somebody else was speaking to me. I said that God stopped speaking in that soft tone, and He kind of
Hmm.
yelled at me that day because I had to pull over. I call it the road to Damascus story because I had to literally pull over and write it down, and sat there at this rest stop writing down this idea. And the first promo, we just found the first promo because somebody asked for it. And the first line of it, dripping in black, is an attitude. It's a lifestyle actually. So
I
we're
love
trying to get
that.
more into that. So
Yeah. And so you're a professor?
yes, professor of mathematics at
You're
a
a
local.
math
Uh,
person. Well,
oh yeah.
I would have never gotten that from you. Not that
Wow,
you're
really?
no, not that you're not a professor, but a professor of anything but mathematics.
Wow, we got to discuss that one.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
that
Only
that.
because you just come across as very social, very, like you talk about these social issues. So if you had said anything else but math, I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. When you said math, I was like, wait, huh?
You're the first one that said that. Now, when I tell my students is I'm a educator that happens to teach math.
I
I
like
don't
that.
I don't go do math problems for fun and anything like that. But I do know my superpower is in the teaching of it because it is such a barrier um for students. And I try to remove that barrier. And the social issues comes in as well, especially when you're talking about cultural things like that, because
Yes.
our people get hit disproportionately hard, especially in mathematics as well. So, dripping in black attitude, remember it was an attitude.
Yes.
It led to a program that I wrote, which was Math Noir. So,
Wow.
um, so they all go together because they all was created at the around the same time.
Right.
So I'm unapologetically um, black and for my people because I see the disparity in what happens in the conversation. Because remember, it came from a meeting that I was just y'all lost your mind, and I can't do this no more. I'm not going to even ask for your permission no more.
Right.
So I just got to do it because I know what was right. So it was dripping in black will always mean something to me because it represented and that it represented the attitude I had to have in order to have other people, students of color like myself and yourself, succeed. So,
Yeah. My husband actually minored in math and majored in, I don't know, something that has to do with math. I don't know. I was like, yeah, you deal with that. Although, we go to stores, he's always like, what's 40% of this? And I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you the math person? You know. But I mean, he did it in math, but math wasn't his, he didn't love math. But I can tell you this story. When I was in high school, they really didn't pay, you either get it or you don't in math. And if you don't, you kind of fake it till you make it and hopefully you pass. And I just thought I really sucked at math. And when I was in the military, I took a night school class on math. And I got an A in the class, even after all the tests. And my teacher wrote on my last test, he goes, go back to school. Because I told him I sucked at math. But he took the time to explain everything. I learned by doing. Some people can learn by listening. I mean, listening is great. I can remember a conversation from 10 years ago. But if you ask me somebody's name from somewhere that I met 10 years, I couldn't tell you. Professor Shawn, that's what I'm going to call you that from now on. So,
math is a conversation, and that's the best way of learning it.
yeah.
And you have to relate to your students. And that happened even less at a college level than they do high school or down because you
Yeah.
might depend on where you at in high school you might get because that's where I started, so you might get that caring teacher that's going to take that time but
Yeah,
you gotta know your students as well and what's best
absolutely.
for them.
So you have a second podcast called Raw Conversations. What kind of topics do you discuss?
Raw might talk about anything. It's think about having a party at your lovely home, and you having a conversation. That's what we were trying to encompass. You having a grown conversation. The original name, I got voted out of this. The original name was Grown Ass Conversation, but they didn't want the ass in there, and I spelled it. I even spelled it with a Z
Yes.
for them, but
Yeah.
they did not do it. So that was a we put together a group of that one. David and I. David is the host of Dripping in Black. He's the EP of that one. And we put together a group of people that we knew, and they have this conversation. Now it's on hiatus, and I hope that it comes back soon because it's the fun version. Dripping in Black. Not that it's just so serious, but it's we're celebrating people's stories and how they're doing because you all know that Cat is on was featured in Dripping in Black. So go
Yes, I
back and listen
was.
to
Yes.
episode 215, I believe. I think it was 15 or 14, 14, 214, I think. Yeah, 214. Y'all go find Cat. But anyway, on Dripping in Black. So that was great. And Cat is Cat. So it's always black excellence just oozing through it. So it was my time to have fun a little bit. And raw conversation kind of gave us that, we can have these conversations. It's about there's relationships. We talked about family. We talked about the holidays and how people deal with the holidays. It's more topical based,
Yes.
centered around the crew. One of the things that actually I just came out, I'm going to release two Raw on the C4 challenge. We had a men's panel and a woman's panel, and I'm actually going to release those um, soon on the C4 so people can re-listen, to give it to a new audience and people can listen to it. But some of the other ones with the original four crew, um, they hilarious. And but it is, but they're talking about topics that that we
Mhm.
concern ourselves with,
Yeah.
and it's given to you as an adult. It's not that clickbait stuff.
Right.
It is
It's real
genuine.
talk. Real
It's
talk.
real talk. It's
Yeah.
real talk, and that's what I wanted because I wanted to fill a void. Those are things that I couldn't find because again, it's funny how things evolve because it really evolved from I wanted to hear men talk about things of importance, not just smoking a blunt or drinking or women, stuff like that. Real
Real
conversation. And
conversations. Yeah.
and I couldn't find it. I found stuff they talking about skinny jeans and I don't want to hear. I'm an older guy. Oh, you see the gray. I don't want to hear about that type stuff all the time. I mean, it has some merit sometimes, but that didn't.
There
And I
are
couldn't
bigger
find nothing.
issues. There are
You
bigger
know,
issues that
right,
we can talk about.
right.
So,
And
is it when you talk, do you already have the topic in mind and then you just throw it
yes,
out there and see what kind of conversations
what we have
happen?
is this: we give them a general topic. Like let's say it's relationships. Let's take that example. I know that's one. That was a funny one too. We talked about relationships. So the panel just gets that. Now we have subtopics under that we bring up as they're having this conversation. So they don't get to know this stuff beforehand. They just got it could be parent. We did parenting one too.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just be parenting. Then we have different questions on that, and they answer those questions. Now, in the real world, I mean, this is where we want to get to next. Is that the fans of that can come on Clubhouse or wherever else we're going to do, and you can go chime in on those things. That's the bigger plan, but
Right.
it haven't came out just yet. We still playing with it, but hopefully they will come back soon because they're on break, and a couple of things happened. People had jobs and stuff like that, so we shift them
Oh
out.
yeah,
But
that Bills
right,
reality.
so yeah,
So
because
let me ask you
we
this
ain't paying
question.
absolutely nothing. So,
Have you ever had a conversation that kind of got heated? You kind of had to calm the waters a little bit on your Raw Conversations podcast.
no, no, not heated. No, we had different points of views, but they respect each other enough. They have a great rapport, so we never had a situation that got heated. We have had difference of opinion, but
Gotcha.
not
But
heated.
that's okay.
Right.
Difference of
That's
opinion
great.
is
That
fine.
that's great.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. That's great. Because I don't know. Well, I'm a teacher. I guess I could handle conflict and fights.
I hear
Or as a
you.
producer, you just hit the stop button on the record.
You're like,
But
click. Oh, we
right,
lost your audio and your video.
right,
So
exactly.
is
So
your
no,
podcast audio and video, or is it audio and video, but it's on YouTube?
it is audio and visual, audio and video. Yes. It wasn't supposed to be that way. My partner David, he saw this vision. That dumb question, dumb question that I asked. I said, "Okay, if you close your eyes, what do you see?" And he said he saw a video. And I said, "Okay, you see this video? I ain't doing no video, but okay." So we actually had somebody that was going to do our video, but again, when you ain't paying nothing, it
Yeah.
kind of he kind of dissipated on it. So I had he had this vision. I said, well, he ain't gonna learn it. Let me go learn how to do video editing. So this is one thing that I adopted. You got first of all, it got to be free because I'm not spending no more money on something that I have no idea how to do. So let me at least get a free version.
Right.
So you got all these free versions of stuff. I said, I'm taking the second one. I don't care what it is. I'm just taking the second one. And Da Vinci was the second one. I listened to, the three best things to do or five best things to do. I'm taking the second. Whatever the second one they mentioned, that's what. So I learned how to do Da Vinci, and that's what I used for the video. So every night, every time I have to do a video thing, I'm cussing him out in my head because that was not my plan. That was not my plan. And that's how it ended up being. So, and that's my scientific method of how I picked the second one they mentioned, that's the one I'm going to learn because I'm going to be up here all day trying to
Trying to
choose
do it. Yeah.
which one's the best, and it doesn't really matter at this point because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. So if someone's listening to this and they think that they would be a great fit for your podcast, what do you look for in a guest for your podcast?
Ooh, for a guest. For Dripping in Black is somebody that's doing something or contributing to the enhancement of the Black community. It might not. Well, I don't even say they are contributing positively to their community. It doesn't necessarily be Black, but it is Dripping in Black. So we want to celebrate the Black diaspora. So that's pretty much it. We've had authors, we've had real estate people, we've had musicians, and all of them got so many dope stories. We had Cat. Go listen to Cat. If you haven't listened to Cat, go listen to Cat. And I love that episode, and I'm not just saying it because I'm the EP, but you so genuine, so I can say that to you. So.
Oh, thank you.
And so that was a very good episode. So we have all these things, and so the big picture, they call if you see me on Facebook and stuff, I'm a big fan of Pinky and the Brain because I'm always trying to take over the world every
Yeah.
night. So as a mastermind, what the next stage is, and you're going to be invited too, because we're going to have a Dripping in Black gala one day. We're planning it now, but one
Ooh.
day it's going to happen. So you got to bring you and husband, and y'all come to Michigan. I call it the ligature effect. And the ligature effect is I know all these people and I'm meeting these people. There's a reason why I'm meeting these people. It's to bridge and put and link good people with good people because I'm creating this village. And that actually comes from my first actual podcast, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. And it's to link people together. So, for example, your sisters in service. So you're looking for women that have served in the armed forces. Well, I've interviewed people that have served in the armed forces. So let me give those names to Kat, and hopefully she can, they can work something out. So it's a ligature effect. We've had musicians link up together, real estate people, and that's real.
Connections. All the
That's right. That's
connections.
really
Yeah.
what it is because I'm always wanting to be connected. But if something's missing, it usually means that you're supposed to do it. So let me use my platform to connect these people. We got a book club. Shout out to the Black Lit Matters book club, and we send books to um, students of color, so they could see that they're represented. Black authors. I forgot the tag name. Black authors, black characters, and things like
Hmm.
that, so they could see their representation of themselves. So we sent some books to another um, person that we interviewed, Keisha Lee, because she has I believe it's a nonprofit that gives out books to barbershops in the DC area. So we sent books to them. So it's that ligature effect that I'm looking for overall, that we can help each other out because you really got to create your village.
Yes.
And this is one way of creating the village.
I love that. So here's my last question. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into the content creation space?
Do it. Um, think about what you want to contribute. Think about I look at what is missing and what can I contribute to it. That's the question I ask myself. But it could be something that you're interested in, something that that you would do for free because it might be free for a while for you. Um, and develop it. Talk to people that that's going to enhance your thinking on it. One of the monikers I was reading a book with in the book club. We actually was reading Jay Z book, and there was a spot in the book where I wanted to come up with a mantra. And my mantra is I synthesize thoughts and create masterpieces. That's mine. And
Wow.
what that means is I'm not all that smart, but I listen to what you're saying. We're gonna let's talk about what you want to develop. And as a consultant, I'm listening to what you're saying. So really all I'm doing, my trick is I'm just regurgitating what you just said. And now let's go do it.
Let's go do it.
I'm
Yeah.
always the accountability person that's going to put I give you a hug or I'm going to put my foot up your butt. Whichever one you need, I'm going to do it. Some people need that hug. I got you. Some people need that kick to say, go do it. So I
Okay,
do either one.
Professor Shawn.
So that probably got me in plenty of meetings, but depending on which
Yeah,
one you
you
need.
slipped into professor mode there for a second. Because I can
Oh,
see you at the front
always
of the class
professor.
going, I'm reminding y'all every day that your homework's due.
Right. There's a consequence of not doing your homework. So don't come to
Yeah.
me the next day and saying what homework. I mean, what could I have done? I've been telling you for the last 16 weeks what to do.
Right.
Now
Now,
it's the,
yeah. Now it's a
so
problem.
right. So then I'm in the dean office trying to explain to give them all the stuff that I've done this semester. But that's a different conversation for a different day. But yeah. So it's to find out what hole you want to fill or what you don't see or what you have a passion for and develop it from there. My biggest thing is the professional development, however that going to be. In fact, my other business on the education side, higher ground educational resources, which I'm going to do more of this summer, is to develop those type things. So I'm kind of meshing all that stuff together. I can do the same thing with podcasting to math programs or whatever you want to develop, whatever you're developing. that same mindset has to be there, and that's what I try to get people to see, get that mindset. But it's really just go about and go doing it, and let's put a plan together so that you can go out and do it. So it's
Right.
tangible thing. If it's just one action, I told this. If you had this idea, just go buy the domain name. Go look up the domain name. That's $10 maybe, and you got it. So at least you've done something,
Something.
something small that you say, okay, I'm a one step
A
close.
step towards it. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
So
All right, so let's slip into our second part of our
okay,
interview. And these are just some random questions. There's no right or wrong answer. It's your answer. Okay.
okay, I'm good.
So, Shawn, what does your business look like 5 years from now?
Ooh, higher ground will be. I am developing things now to put on courses online, so you can go and do that. So that will be um, paying for something. So I'm this summer. I'm not teaching this summer, so I can develop some of these professional developments that I already have. There's some that is actually 95% finished, and I just need to put them up somewhere.
Right.
So higher ground is doing that. Dripping in black is becoming that lifestyle that I talked about. And one of the things that hindered Dripping in Black is that we couldn't get out because of the pandemic. We was making our plan. The day that we were making our plan was the day that everything got shut down. So we were
Oh,
on our way to the coffee shop to
yes.
finish our plan, and everything got shut down. So it changed the directory of what we wanted to do. So Dripping in Black would be that brand that you will know about that is
As
equivalent
soon
to
as you
black
see it.
excellence.
Yeah, as soon as you
Right,
see it, you know what it is.
right. You say, oh, they dripping
Mm-hmm.
in black. Matter of fact, I want you to say that when you think about black excellence. Oh, that thing is dripping in
Dripping
black
in
right
black.
there. Blackety black. However you want to put your little swing to it, that's fine as well. But it's dripping in black. So like I said, you can't see this. I just got this one today. You see
I love it.
yes,
Yes.
this
I
is my
love it.
I've been, we got the drip shop now, so I've been testing stuff. So I actually got myself something this time.
Yeah.
So that was
Instead of
so
getting
I got a cup. I got some shirts and stuff, but so in 5 years both of those brands and Dripping in Black Productions will be producing new innovative podcasts,
Okay.
both video and audio.
So
But I
speaking of
think
your
everything's going to be audio. I mean, video.
oh,
I think everything's going to be video everywhere.
well, I think it works better if it is video that there's audio attached.
Right. Oh,
Just
yeah, that too. But I'm saying that everything will probably be video
right.
soon.
So speaking of your podcasts, we are in the Winter Olympics realm right now. So if you could describe your podcast as a Winter Olympic event, which event would it be?
Ooh. Oh man. I might want to say snowboarding, but I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go women hockey because it's new and it's coming on.
I love that. That's a different take.
You
I
you
was
you you you
thinking,
you, you
you know
forced
the
me to, but
the where they ski and then they go up this huge ramp like this and they twist and turn and all this other stuff. That might be
yeah.
your raw podcast. Your raw podcast might be that because you speak on so many different things and they do all these twists and
Oh,
turns and you know
what
what I
is
mean?
the jump? I
Yes, the
forgot what it's
ski
called,
jump
but
thing,
yeah,
whatever it's
ski
called.
jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is ski jump. Stop making it difficult, Sean. Yeah, ski jump.
All right, if you could pick anyone to play you in the biography of your life and they cannot say no, who would you choose?
Ooh, I'm gonna pick somebody off the top, and I thought about this. 'Cause I think I heard this question somewhere before. Um, you did Drew's, I think.
We had
I'm
such a
going
good
to just
time
say,
on that. We
I
had
know, I
good,
saw,
yeah.
I heard. Um, I would say this is gonna be a struggle. I'm gonna say most deaf
I like
because
that.
I loved him. Actually, he reminded me of my father. I
Mhm.
loved him in what's the name of that movie when he played the black guy that invented all the the surgical tools.
Yes, I do. I don't remember
Something,
the name of the movie, but
something.
I know what you're
I
talking
can't think
about.
about it, but
Yeah.
yes. So
Okay.
most deaf would that's what I'll pick because you actually reminded me of my father with that
Hmm.
pipe too. I just bought me a pipe. I'm supposed to do an episode honoring my father, and I just bought me a pipe too. So it's
Oh,
just a
I'll
prop.
listen to that one. That sounds like a good one. So, what are the top two things on your bucket list of things to do before you leave this earth?
Visit Africa is one. That's coming soon. See my son succeed. They're getting there and doing their love because they actually are in places that they are doing what they love.
It's
So
what
to
it's
see
about,
them
right?
succeed,
Yeah.
see them succeed, and I just actually just did a vlog on the C4 about that. We think stuff is for us, and some stuff is, but some stuff is actually for them to do because they took, like, for example, I used to be a musician, mediocre musician, but I was a musician, and and I told that story
You
in
could
there.
have just
But
said musician. I wasn't going to
right,
ask you anything.
I know, but I got to be real. I'm gonna be real and raw with it. So, but they took it, Jalen, which was the episode right before yours, and my son, they took it to another level. I'm waiting for my Grammy ticket because I'm going to see them. Stellar Awards, whatever one they want to go to, they got to go give me a ticket to
Of
go.
course.
So yeah.
All right. One last question in this segment. If you could witness any event from the past, what event would it be?
I got to give you a couple, but as I'm thinking through this, but if I had to pick one right off the top of my head, I would have liked to have been in Chicago when Obama won.
Mm.
Yeah, one that's on my mind now, but I don't know if I would have enjoyed it or not. I'd have been, is Brown versus the Board of Education. 'Cause that's something I'm debating in my
Yes.
That's something I'm debating in my head now. Did we take the right path in that? Was was desegregation the true answer to what we really needed?
Especially, I would have liked to have been. I would have liked to have watched, as painful as it may have been, that one little girl that had to go to that school. Was it Arkansas? That she went. She was the first black
Yeah.
child to go to that
Ruby
school, and
Bridges?
yes, I would have been just. I see that, and I was like, just she just has this look of bravery. I know she was probably scared to death, but she was just determined. So, yeah, that's a good one. All right,
I see myself as being killed in those situations because I don't know if I could have took and
you could have kept your mouth
watched
shut.
them
I
do
know.
that.
We
Right.
all do that. I wouldn't have taken that. Right. Sure.
So I would have,
I hear
I
you.
debate those things, but that'd have been hard. I understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
now that we know,
Yeah.
but in that moment, yeah, that would have been hard.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the third part of our interview. It's called This or That. You just pick one, doesn't matter which one. There's no wrong answer because it's your answer.
Okay.
Do you like reality shows or documentaries?
Documentaries.
Books or movies?
Being lazy, probably movies, but I probably read more books lately than I've done movies.
Okay. Roller coasters or water slides?
Water slide.
Dang,
I
Shawn.
know you. I know you a roller coaster
I took
girl,
you
but
for
no,
man.
no.
When is your
I like
birthday?
what
When's
I
your
like water.
birthday?
December 20th. I'm the last of the Sagittarius. They closed it down. They said, Shawn is here. We closing it down. The 20th is it.
All right. Would you prefer looks or personality?
Personality for the long haul.
Pizza or tacos?
Oh, that's dirty. I guess I gotta go pizza. That's a college thing.
All right. Would you rather be the smartest person in the world or the richest person in the world?
Ooh, people will probably say smartest. I might agree with them, so I can make everybody else and myself rich.
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown. Famous is not something I strive for.
Right? Just you and your money. Who cares about
Hmm.
everything else? Zombies or vampires?
Oh, I hate zombies, so it got to be vampires. I just don't understand the fascination of zombies. But
I hear you. Are you a board game person or a video game person?
oh man, I would probably say I ain't did neither in so long. Slightly, I would probably give a slight nod to video,
Okay.
slight, but it's very slight.
Would you rather be Instagram famous or infomercial famous?
Yes, infomercial. I'm not a gigantic social media person.
Last but never least, would you rather be poor and happy or rich and miserable?
Oh man, that one's dirty too. I got to be rich and miserable. Um, man, I guess I might be poor and happy because miserable. Nah, I could buy myself something. I guess you got to be rich and miserable. I got to be rich and miserable.
Well, Shawn, thank you so much for playing and being a guest today. This has been fun for me. And for those of you that don't know, Shawn is also part of the Content Creators of Color collective. And we're doing this, I keep wanting to call it a competition, and it's not a competition, but where we're putting content out every day. And it's stretching me, y'all. It's stretching me. I'm just going to say that.
She's doing fine. She's doing fine.
So, Shawn,
She's
any
killing.
last words for our audience before we go?
Just a few. Check out Kat's episode in the Dripping in Black because I know you all are fans and you want to get to see her, and know a little bit more about her. That is a great episode. I'm not just saying it because I'm the EP. Shout out to the C4 folks. And thank you for having me on your platform because you killing it. And also the last one is I want a cut of your voiceover when you get that because remember I was the one that said, you
Yes.
know what? After doing you should think about voiceover work because you have a very pleasant voice. You command attention. I don't know how it works, but it works. So go, yes, go take all the coins, but leave 7% to me. Thank you.
Yes, Shawn, I will do that. Well, thank you again for being a guest. And for my sisters in service, please take care of each other and stay safe. And until next time, my name is Kat Corchado, and I am a content creator of color.